Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is a video that I saw earlier, and I sent it out to a few people. And the elder Uriah put it in one of the group me chats. And the strange thing is that I put it in, and the video's coming up, and it's the same story, but it's a different person. The one that I saw was a woman narrating. This one is a man. And this is what historic uplift. Well, the other ones was some white guy in the thumbnail, some Edomite, some pale guy. No such thing as white people, no such thing as black people. And you can see the name of the video is I died, and what Jesus revealed about black people will shock you. And it said Jesus, see, is different, a little bit different, because mine read terrifying testimony of Jesus. This was so anyway, same story, because I played it, so I found the spot that I wanted. And first, we're gonna attack that name. All right, anyone who saying the name Jesus is not telling you the whole truth. G, the J-E meaning earth, sus meaning pig. All right, the Lord and his true name was Yahushai. All right, and as it says in 2 Corinthians 2:11 and 22, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. So the whole Bible is about the Hebrew Israelites, whom some people began calling Christians, the ones who followed the Hamashiach. All right, who the world fraudulently and falsely calls earth pig. All right, and then with that word black, I just did a lesson on this, how black isn't a people. And the elder Yashawamba sent me an image of the quote that I used from the video about that. And so I'm going to read it and put it on the screen. So it's really an act of hate to refer to us as black people. And it's an act of stupidity to refer to yourself as black people. But here's a definition of black. All right, and it says, first, there is no nation of black Americans, nor is there a black America in any documented record in the world over. So you won't find it. All right. In 1681, they self-proclaimed themselves white, and that in Virginia, and that's what you first see in law, that term written, but you won't find it in black. All right, it says, and this is from the Black's Dictionary, by the way. That's the source. This is either volume 1 or volume 2. But it says, black Americans are what is referred to in law as a misnomer, or collectively misnomers. Look that word up. As you well know, grammatically, black is an adjective. That's why you never see black in capital letters. See, when you see in the title of this video, they had to type that in. When you're typing and you put in white people, the W will automatically go to capital in some cases. Or how to give you a little squiggly line that is incorrect. It won't do that with black. You have to purposely put in the capital B, because it isn't so. All right. Go show you how much they care about your blackness. All right, it says, as you well know, grammatically, meaning in grammar, black is an adjective, and it's not a proper noun. Socially and politically, black implies civiliter mortis, which means dead. In the eyes of the law, like the scripture says, and their dead bodies were in the city. All right, that was talking about America. When you're a no people, when you're a misnomer, you're a no people, you're dead. All right. So the prophecy, this is fitting prophecy and scripture to the T. Black Americans is not a nationality nor a nation. Therefore, black has no political interest nor powers in a free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. So if you want to screenshot it and keep it, there it is in its entirety. That the source is from the Black's Law Dictionary, all right, that they use in your American courts today. All right, there's a name. Civil Mortis, Black Laws Dictionary. Now the Black Laws Dictionary, the Black Laws is capital, but Black people is not. When you go to Black people, it's always a lowercase. Go type it for yourself and watch what happens. You have to put you have to make the B capital in its own. So we wanted to get that out the way before we even start this. So I'm going to play about maybe, 7 or 8 minutes of this video and stop it here and there to add a scripture and clarification as to what is happening. All right. The him that he saw or she saw is Yahushai.
Saw him. Standing there, at the end of the tunnel, was a figure unlike any I had ever seen before. He radiated light, not just around him, but from him. His presence was overwhelming. Love, peace, power, all wrapped into...
All right. Said he was radiating light when she saw him. So let's go to a scripture where he saw him, because the first one I watched was a female, so I was trying to find it. But but this is Revelation 1, and revelation means to reveal. So the Lord revealed himself in the Bible, and people ignore it. That's why the scripture says, those who believe on me, as the scripture have said, which the average Christian doesn't acknowledge what the Bible actually says. Once again, that's John 7:38. He that believeth on me, as the... Matter of fact, let me just read it, then I'll read Revelation. He that believeth on me, as the scripture have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And that living water is the truth. That's how you get cleansed. That's how you actually get baptized. You get baptized by the word. Water was symbolic for a time period, but that's not, because what if you're in a place where there is no water? You actually get cleansed and baptized by the hearing of the word, by the way. All right. It's not necessary. Besides, you're going to have somebody baptize you in some water that was in the name of Earth Pig. Come on, man. All right. But Revelation, I started verse 1. This is Revelation 1:1. And it reads, the revelation of Yahushai Hamashiach, all right, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants, which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by an angel unto his servant John. Okay. So so it was revealed to John what he looked like. Why? Because the Lord's image was crucified here in Babylon along with our dead bodies. They etched out his image. Because if you're going to actually have, a relic to represent the servant of the Lord, you'd be better off with a menorah, right? A 7 candle in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, which represents the 7 original churches, not 9. That's some false religion-ish stuff, all right? So the Lord appeared within the, so when she saw him, all right, And like it says in here, Revelation 1 and 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to his foot, and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. His head and his hairs were like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire. And his feet were like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice was like the sound of many waters. So he had white woolly hair, all right, and he had dark skin, as if it had burned. So just like you're looking at the earth, all right. In Jeremiah 14th chapter, it says Judah, which is a tribe that the Lord came from, all right, is black unto the ground, or, dark, all right, like the ground. Jeremiah 14 and 2, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, all right, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Remember the word black, and that's with the small case lettering, all right. But they are a dark people. They are a colored people, a bronze people, people that look like the sardine and the jasper stone, all right? And when you're starving to death, you're even darker. So matter of fact, going back to Revelation, and Salakia, all these scriptures are coming out, but but these are necessary for you for you to have an understanding when he's revealed. All right, this is the Revelation still. Revelation 4, and the point is in 3, but I'm going to start at 1. And after this I looked, and behold, a door was open in heaven, and a voice which I heard was as if it were a trumpet talking to me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show you the things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and the one that sat on the throne, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. All right, now hold on. Let me go back to the receipts. Here's a jasper and a sardine stone. All right. And remember that word black, they hijacked the word swarthy and replaced it with black. I have evidence on that too. All right, because swarthy is referring to complexion. Black means dead. So like the scene that I love to use as evidence from American Gods. But Mr. Nancy, when he says, oh, y'all don't know y'all black yet. When these Dutch motherfuckers decided that y'all was black and that they was white, see, they made it, it's all made up. Okay? You have to understand that. And before we go on and let the video play again, here's a definition from the Oxford Dictionary, all right, from the 1600s. And the book is from the 1800s. The definitions go all the way back to the 1600s. All right. And this is from wool. All right. The short, crispy, curly hair of a Negro. Also the hair of the head. So when the Bible said his hair like wool, well, it's talking about the hair of a Negro. All right. And then you can screenshot that. London Gazette. And then it gave you from 1697. The London Gazette, number 3256. Even tell you where to find it. A runaway Negro boy, the wool off the right side of his head about the breadth of a crown piece. All right. 1730 South Hall Bugs. Meeting with an uncommon Negro, the hair, or rather the wool, on the side of his beard and breast being as white as snow. Enough said. Screenshot it. All right. Now, back to the video.
To 1, I knew without a doubt that I was standing before Jesus. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. All I could do was feel, and what I felt was beyond words. He looked at me, and in that single gaze, I saw my entire life flash before me. Every moment, every decision, every mistake, every act of kindness, it was all there, laid bare before him. But there was no judgment in his eyes, only understanding. Then he spoke, and his voice was like thunder and a whisper at the same time. "You are not here by accident, Jessica." I wanted to ask him why I was there, what was happening, but before I could, he raised his hand. And suddenly, everything changed. I was no longer standing in the tunnel. I was somewhere else, a place I had never seen before, but somehow felt deeply connected to. And that's when he showed me the truth about black people, a truth that would change the way I saw the world forever. I stood there, frozen in awe, as Jesus extended his hand toward me. His eyes held a depth of knowledge I couldn't comprehend, and in that moment, I knew I was about to see something important, something that had been hidden from the world for far too long. Without a word, everything around me shifted.
Lamentations 4:8. Their visage, meaning when you look upon them, and this is speaking about the Israelites, is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. So they're not known in the streets because they've been called black. All right. Remember Mr. Nancy. Oh, y'all don't know that y'all black yet. When these Dutch motherfuckers decided that y'all was black and that they was white, go watch that scene.
The tunnel disappeared, and I was standing in a vast, open space. It was neither earth nor heaven. It was something in between, a place where divine truths were revealed. Before me, images began to form, like moving paintings made of pure energy. The first thing I saw was Africa, vast, beautiful, and glowing with a golden light. I saw ancient cities, strong civilizations, and people full of wisdom, resilience, and spiritual power.
So what they're trying to do is connect the Israelites to Africa, when the Israelites are not Africans. The Israelites were in slavery in Africa, in Egypt. All right. In the ancient world, and everyone around that area was melanated, was swarthy. All of Western Asia, the part that they call the Middle East, and the part that they call Europe, were all swarthy people. The only people that were pale were the Edomites, the cursed. All right, the cursed Edomite, who today calls himself white or Caucasian. Okay, and they came from that region too. So all this pseudoscience about Europe, well, it's all a lie. Let's prove it real quick. Let's go back to the receipts. And we're going to find my definition. And this one hurts them too, huh? But here it is. This also from the Oxford 1850 dictionary, which I have on the shelf behind me. But here, Eurasian. All right. Asia. Europe plus Asia, in a sense, the compound Eurasia, of or pertaining to Eurasia, Europe and Asia considered as forming in reality one continent, Euro-Asiatic. All right, so basically they took the continent and gave it the name Europe, and then gave you the false pseudoscience that's where pale people come from, and they're pale because they came from, which is a lie, a complete lie. They leave out the fact that the pale people violently conquered Europe and drove the melanated swarthy Europeans out, and the ones that didn't leave got lightened up. That's why you have swarthy, which can be from someone as fair complected as I am to even lighter than I am. All right, because I got a little bit of brown, got more color in me as I got older. All right, but when I was young, I was really, light complected. Okay. And then you got from a swarthy tan color, or light tan, all the way up to a chocolate brown. And then the reddish brown tones in between. That's what ruddy really means. A reddish brown, a brunette. Right? A brunette's definition, a brune, I believe it was a dark-skinned male, and a brunette was a dark skin. It was talking about complexion in the beginning. Okay, so lies, and we're breaking down the lies. So even in Esau, even when they tell you the truth, they still tell you lies, because the truth is coming out, and they're trying to control the narrative. That's why you got these black only, these back to Africa. No, Africans were our enemy. Those swarthy dark people in Africa were the enemies, and still are the enemies of the Israelites. All right, it tells you in the Zondervan's Dictionary Compact Bible, and in the Young's Dictionary Compact Bible, that the 4 sons of Ham, all right, put Canaan, put Canaan, Mizraim, which is Egypt, and Libya, which these matter of fact, let me just stop trying to wing it and get it. Trying to remember it. Normally I can't remember that, but it says I just put this. I got that in the receipt just for quick reference, but this is from the Zondervans. All right. Yeah, so the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites, all right, are from the line of Ham. Physically different from the Judeans, the true Jews, that are from the line of Shem. 2 different dark melanated people with different features. And Judeans are called Negroes, and Negroes are a lot more handsome than the average African. All right. So there you go, and that's from a group of Jewish scholars. All right. That source and the Young's Bible Dictionary goes even harder. All right, on the subject matter. So they purposely pushed that lie. So now that we got that out the way, let's continue.
They weren't broken. They weren't weak. They were chosen. Jesus spoke, and his voice resonated deep within my soul. The world has lied about them, he said. They are not what they have been made to believe. They were given gifts, power, and knowledge that many tried to erase.
So that's when he said he saw strong people with spiritual power, warriors, and all that. Maybe he didn't get to that part yet, but that goes back to your crafty counsel of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. All right, when it says Psalms 83 and 2, for lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, against thy hidden one. See, we were hidden, called black. All right. And it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, and that the name of Israel, Yasharallah, may be no more in remembrance. And then it goes and breaks down and who these nations are. The enemies of the Lord are all confederate against the Lord and against his people. And it names them by name, by races. And Edom is in there twice. Edom and Amalek are in there twice. The Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon. So there's the Japanese, the Chinese, Ishmael. All these people are against us, and they hid who we were collectively. All right. And then Edom backstabbed everybody and hogged all the power to himself. And now the other nations have been under his boot as well and scared to speak up until now.
Shifted again. I saw chains, ships, people being taken from their homeland. I saw suffering, pain, and generations being told they were less than what they were. And then,
so when she saw people being taken from their homeland, she saw Deuteronomy 28, which is clearer than clear. And I'm just going to read that one. All right. No, I have to read a couple, but it says, Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Egypt means the house of bondage. All right, because the Israelites went off. They got that part of that punishment was to get taken into slavery on ships and scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen. And now many of them look like those heathen. All right. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, and bring you into slavery again. By the way whereof I spoke unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen, slave men, and bondwomen, slave women. And no one shall buy you, no one shall redeem you. All right. No one, the word buy means redeemed. All right. Look it up. They'll read that in English, verbatim in English. Oh, see, no one bought them. Really stupid. How? So there you have it. The Israelites were scattered. All right. And she identified that. She saw it. And the curses told you that those signs, the signs of these curses would be on the Deuteronomy 28:46. And they shall be a sign upon thee and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So the curses in Deuteronomy would be the signs of how you know who the Israelites are. And Israelis don't fit those signs. All right. Especially you read verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. And he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. The Israelis are the heads of everything, including the banks and all the lending. And that's a fact. That's not anti any damn thing. All right.
Then I saw something even more shocking. I saw spiritual forces working behind the scenes, intentionally suppressing the truth. Jesus turned to me and continued, the oppression was not just physical, it was spiritual, because if they knew who they truly were, the world would change. My heart pounded. This wasn't just history. This was a spiritual battle that had been going on for centuries. The deception ran deep, and most of the world had no idea. But then the vision changed again. I saw modern times, people waking up, realizing their worth, reclaiming
their power. The Great Awakening, Ezekiel 37th chapter. All right. Abba Bivens, John the Revelator, turning the hearts of the people back. All right. All the lies and the deceit being brought down, and that's what's happening. The men of the Lord doing the work of the Lord. All right, going on the highways and byways and putting up edifying lessons like this. This is what she saw, the Great Awakening, and now and then all the hirelings, all that stuff behind the scenes, the lies and the evil and the deceit. Well, Vocab Malone, Dr. James White, the Edomite, the apologists, the black Christians, the dead Christians. That's what black means. That that are either paid off or they just not want. They're numbered among the 2/3. The Lord won't allow them to see or understand the truth, or they just love their position and their wealth that they've gotten from teaching these lies. The truth is, truth stands on its own. The problem is that lies always have an expiration date, and so all the lies, they're gonna have to be pulled off the shelf because they've expired. Let's go to another one of my favorite scriptures, and a lot of other brothers' favorite scripture too, because it's a time we're living in, something we all been waiting for. This is 2 Ezra 6, 27 and 28. And it reads, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. All right. So this is it. Ezekiel 36 chapter, the 2nd and the 5th verse tells you that the Edomites would take the Holy Land and claim to be us. Those are the Israelis. Ezekiel 37, the dead bodies would raise up and live. The black ones. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. The northern and southern kingdom being joined back together, the two sticks, which primarily is the Negro, Latino, and Native American. And of course, all our people scattered among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nation, that happen to be of the elect. Some of those people are of the elect as well. That's why John the Revelator couldn't identify them in the ninth verse of Revelation, the 7th chapter. So then after the awakening, what happens? Ezekiel 38, the destruction of Babylon, World War III, the collapse of society, Jacob's trouble, and the MOTB, and that's where we are. And this is a beautiful thing to us and a bad thing to everyone else, because we're hastening the coming of the Lord. Call halal, Yahweh Bashan Abashai, Bahasham, Rakah Kwadash, Kwam Yasarala, Abad Babal.